Hello again, and welcome back, everybody, to another edition of the Rural Report. I am your Rural 2IC, and we are continuing on with the 30 days of survival for the month of September. So, shout out to Little Rural, my 5-year-old, who came up with the ingenious way of doing this in a fun manner by using the ABCs. So we're going to continue on that because it seems to be a pretty fun way that I think everybody's getting into. That a little different than what everybody else is doing. So we're going to continue on, and today's letter is the letter I, which subsequently, the very first word is I. No, we're not on the letter E for eyeball. We're talking about the letter I, which in turn is you. This all starts with you. This is a personal choice. You can have it to where maybe your husband, wife, boyfriend, girlfriend, whatever, to where they're doing it just because you want them to, but this is a personal choice on how serious it is that you want to do this. First of all, do you want to do it or not? Second is, how committed are you? Are you just doing this because it's trendy? Are you doing it because you actually want to? How much time, how much money, how much sacrifice are you willing to make in order to do it and really start and really be part of the preparedness community? There's a lot into this that people will look at it from all different angles, and I'm not quite sure that there's really a wrong or right answer to it. Uh, but it does take a certain level of personal responsibility. You have to figure out yourself of how much time are you willing to spend or that you need to spend. How much finances are you willing to put towards this or that you can put towards it? How much sacrifice are you willing to do? Because everything's a trade-off, right? I have a family, and for me to go take a course, is the value that I'm going to get from that course more valuable than time spent with my family? So you have to look at it from all different angles, and it's very personal. But again, it all starts with you, or the letter I. Next one is going to be ID, or identification. Now, we can look at this in a lot of different ways. First one is, how well can you identify things? When we're talking about anything from labels, symbols, anything along those lines. So at a quick glance, you can go, hey, put that down. Don't use that. That is dangerous. There's a bunch of different warning labels that use symbology, and to be able to have those identifiers. Same thing with colors. Can you glance at a certain container and see the color and know, hey, no, grab the red one, not that one. Being able to identify native plants and different things to know what is ones that are edible, what ones are medicinal, which ones you need to stay completely away from, and then maybe a way to identify a neighborhood mag. If you're here and a couple miles away there's another mag and you guys are friendly towards one another, what's a way that you can have an identifier so there's no friendly fire? uh, I don't think there's a lot of people that have thought about that one. If you've got, let's say, a decent size mag of 20-25 people, and let's say they have a bigger mag of like 50 people, is every single person going to know every single person from the other group? Okay. If one just happens to be out and another one happens to be out, are they both going to freak out and all of a sudden there's an accident, and now it leads to uh, instead of friendly bartering and mutual assistance, maybe it leads to an all-out battle, or maybe it ends bartering or things like that. So it's something that we need to think about beforehand, to try and make it to where we don't have those types of problems in the future. This is the time now, while we're before something really bad happens, to really sit back and think of those little things that people are not talking about, the big mainstream things that the channels, and whether they're big, medium, small, whatever, the ones that are actually talking about some of the things, that's not just regurgitating the same topic over and over. And that's why I thought the ABCs would be a fun way to do this, which brings me into my next one: incentivize. And this one, and you got to hear me out on this one, is let's say that you have a group and you want Bob to join your group. Well, you need to incentivize them. And I know somebody's going to take that the wrong way, and they're going to say, "What do you mean? It's him by himself, or he joins us? That what more does he want?" Well, it needs to be mutual. Okay, if you look at Bob and you're talking to him and you're vetting him, you need to incentivize that this is beneficial for him too. You have to show him that this is going to be the group for him. So you have to give that incentivizing manner of presenting it out there. It's the same thing with pretty much anybody in your group. Look, I need you to do this task or this job, and the incentivizing thing that you get out of this is, everybody else does their task, and because all of us are working together as a community, we all mutually benefit. So we all get safety, security, we get food, we get medical, we get water, we get, everybody needs to have an incentive in order to carry on. Otherwise, people get burnt out or they start questioning, what's the point? I can hunt and gather water. Why do I have to sit here and do all this? So I think that's often overlooked. And then, if you disagree, that's fine. The next one I want to walk into is inch. And I'm going to take this in two different directions. One, everything begins, with that little thing. If you set out that you want to have floor to ceiling of food, and you walk into your pantry and you have a handful of cans and a couple of bottles of water, you've got a long way to go. And it can seem daunting, it can seem like an impossible task, but you just have to start. Okay. Every foot that you take starts out with that first inch. You just have to get started. Take everything that you want to do and break it down into small, attainable goals. And inch by inch, you will gain closer and closer to that goal, to where once you reach it, you're going to look back and see all those little milestones. I was making progress. I was able to go once a week, and I was able to get five more cans of food and a whole case of water, which cost me an extra $8 a week or whatever. And that builds over time, and inch by inch, every mile, you will get there. But it also goes into an inch bag. And if you don't know what that is, that stands for I'm never coming home. That is the last straw. Whether it be a wildfire or a natural disaster or any sort of zombie apocalypse, whatever it is that is, the bug out's not going to work. You know that you've got an impending time, that it's coming really, really close, and it's headed right for your property. If you stay, 1,000% you're just not going to make it. Everything's just going to be overrun. It's going to be damaged beyond repair. You're going to lose everything. So you decide you need to ultimately bug out and never come back, which is a bag that you should probably at least consider, because this will have a lot more things than just your basic bug out bag. And so this is where you would have things like important documents, a photo album. Uh, if you could, when for me personally, on my decision, if I'm grabbing my inch bag, if there's any time possible, I'm grabbing my bug out bag too. And if I can, I'm going to hop in the car and take my car bag with me. My EDC is my everyday carry, so it's already on my person. So I've got four things that's coming with me, because if I'm never coming home, that I'm grabbing that bag, I'm going to take as many things as I possibly can with me. And when it's seconds matter, let's say that you only got a 2-minute warning to get the completely out of Dodge, then the bag's already packed. There's no stopping and thinking about anything or second guessing. You took the time now, while you have a really decent amount of time, to sit down and look around at all of your belongings and everything, and go, if I'm never coming home and this is the bag that I have, what is the absolute essential I have to take with me, and pack it now. And when it comes to pictures, go get copies of them. Okay, it doesn't have to be the original. If you've got documents, take a photocopy of it. There's a lot of people that take things and they put them on a flash drive or whatever, and there's a lot of different ways. There's people that do it in different methods and whatever, and whichever one works best for you works best for you. The biggest thing is that you at least consider an inch bag. So let's round this out. So there's my four. I'm going to do my honorable mention, which is going to be the word ingredients. Most food, we don't sit down for a meal and just eat one thing. Usually if you grab a handful of carrots or, a little thing of grapes, those are snacks for the most part. When we're actually cooking, that's ingredients. So that means more than one thing. And that's where you should probably take the time now and start thinking about things like ingredients. What is it that you want to eat, and what ingredients does it take to make it? And that's not just the food part. Uh, you know, Water is going to be an ingredient. Different seasonings and spices is going to be an ingredient. When you are cooking meat, can you save the grease and the things that come off and use that as a later ingredient? You're already cooking the meat, might as well save the grease, right? So just a little bit of a honorable mention there. And so there we go. Those are my list for today. I hope you got something out of it. I hope you got a little bit of value. If not, maybe you got some entertainment as you watch me wave my arms around and try and come up with some of these words for you guys. Which, side note, I think it's really fun that I know there's a few people that are waiting around for some of the really fun letters like X, Y, and Z. Stand by, those are coming, right? But here we are at the end. So here's my challenge. This channel is not one here to just present you the list and say, live your life by this. No, I want to get you to start critically thinking for yourself. That's why I do four. And then I issue you the challenge that come up with one or two words that begin with I that we can build the list. Drop it down in the comment section below. And let's just grow this list as a community and get creative. It's just a fun way to get everybody thinking about this. And we'll see what we all come up with. So, with that, I hope that you guys have an amazing day. I hope that you guys have a blessed day. Stay tuned because there's definitely more information to come. And with that, please remember, remain united. We're all prepping in this together.